Okay,
I
hello,
wasn't going to
folks.
be able to get to the refrigerator. Okay, I'm ready.
Tonight we're examining Samuel Adams Freshest Hellas, and it's fairly new. Hold on, let me send Michael James a message. Me too. And then I'll send him a date later when I get a chance for that.
Ask him if Friday's good, because that would be good for me.
Yeah, the little tryout hangout. I guess we'll call it a tryout.
It'll work.
Not to say he's got to pass the tryout. I don't mean it that way.
Glasses.
I mean to see if he likes it. Now, tell us, William, you didn't have any trouble getting this one, did you?
No, I got it. I got one when I got the beer for last week together.
Yeah,
I'm
really
surprised when they're on your head and I'm looking for them. That's brilliant. Okay.
I'm surprised Bill McIntosh isn't with us. I know he likes to do these. He might have had something to do.
What about Eric? Is he playing with his band tonight?
I think his band broke up or something happened because he was saying something on Facebook about how he wanted to get into a band that was really serious, or like really not just something to goof around with, but somebody that really wanted to make a career of it. So I guess I get the feeling that might have happened, but I know it's got to be a headache and a half to try to do a band anyway.
How about John? Is he going to be in tonight from Alabama?
I put a link on Beer Talk. I can send him a direct link though. Let's see. Let's to him through Google Plus. But you notice a lot of people will tell me they never get the invite.
I always get yours when you send them. I mean, sometimes I'm not on the computer, so I don't see it, but I get them.
Yeah, I hope they're not lying. I mean, I do tell. Okay, I'm going to go get my beer. It's right in the other room, and then we'll start examining it.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I don't know why I can't see William's face, but like I know what William looks like, and I can see his little icon.
He's wearing a nice red and black checkered shirt.
Hear him, and I can see you fine, Michael. Okay.
And the Triumph.
Sometimes when you do these things, William, it's weird. You'll get people who'll blip and blop out with their symbols instead of their face. And stuff,
I've noticed that one too.
And then they come back, and I don't know if they're checking out on purpose. Like right now, yours says William, but you'll drift back in because you were there before. And
right, it's sort of wanky, and sometimes
William's getting his beer too.
Yeah, sometimes you have to reset it, but I'm not going to reset it. I mean, it's started now. I mean.
Okay.
Too bad. As long as we can hear each other. Okay.
Hopefully and other people will join us as we go.
I hope so.
Is this the first time you've had this beer?
I've had it twice.
Okay, because I've never had it. This is my first time.
How about you, William?
This is my maiden voyage with this beer.
Me too.
It's got a skull on it with something dripping on the head. It's got flowers. It's got orange slices for eyes. It is a Hellas lager, which is a bright lager. Okay, I'm going to set this up so we can do chat. And it's got orange blossoms and natural flavor added.
On the website, they say the dripping substance on his skull is honey.
Okay. You have the website up?
I've got not right now. That was a little video that Jim Cook did describing the beer, and he mentioned about the orange slices in the eyes, the orange blossoms coming out of the skull, and then the
one thing I like about this beer, it's got the Best Buy time on it. It's saying August. Full. It's got 18 IBUs and it's 5.4% alcohol. They use orange blossoms for added. That could mean a lot of different things. What'd you say, William?
I was saying for a 5.4 beer, that 182 calories is pretty high, comparatively speaking.
Very high.
How much does regular Budweiser have in a 12-ounce can? How many calories?
About 145. For a lot, most of the adjunct lagers have around 145 to 50.
That's right. That's correct. So this one's pretty heavy bodied. I think if you're trying to put on some weight, this might be one to look at.
Because it's a sessionable beer, and it starts to add up 182 times 2 times 3 times 4. Before you know it, you're talking about some serious calories. So,
especially if you're drinking a few.
And it's designed for that. It's a summary,
Well, it's session. It's session. It's only 5.4, so it's session.
So it could be a calorie counter if you drink it that way.
Well, I am happy to report I'm looking at a little delayed video on my other tab, and I'm seeing everybody. So I just having a little problem with it. Now, Carp Diem says, "Hi, am I first?" Yes, you are. He says, "Whoop." Yep. Seize the day, Carp Diem. Seize the day. Ronnie says, "What's up, Ronald?" "Oh, just drinking beer, hanging out with the guys, examining stuff." Zizor says, "What's up, guys?" "Just examining beer, hanging out with the guys, answering comments. Much having a natural ice. What's up with you?" And then Tiki McKee says, "Ronald, I am a huge fan. I am from Rose Pine, Louisiana." Well, hello there. Welcome, fellow Louisianian. And join us in this examination. Mr. Amazing says, "What's up, gentlemen?" Same old thing.
Is Rose
What's
Pine
it taste like?
Greater New Orleans, Jay?
No, I believe that's up there in central Louisiana.
North of you.
Eric says, "Cheers, fellas. I'm drinking a Negro Modelo." You should be drinking this. This is what I think. Mr. Dobalina. I like. You're about to get blocked. Okay. Let me, okay. I'm a moderator, but he doesn't show up anymore. Hello, everyone. Enjoying a Modelo pre-Cinco de Mayo. Socali raised. That's good. Southern California raised. Okay, well.
If we do have it on Friday, Jay, that is Cinco de Mayo.
Right, so it'd be totally inappropriate. We're going to be doing a Kentucky.
Hard liquor on Cinco de Mayo. Today is supposed to get messed up on that day anyway, so why not?
But you could do a shot in a beer, a Jim Beam and a Corona, or a Tecate, or Modelo. So then you're combining.
You can cross the theme.
It's a cross-cultural alcohol indulgence.
Right, and didn't Hernando de Soto explore all the way into Kentucky? And so he was Spanish, and the Spanish founded Mexico as a colony. So it sort of works together. All right. And then Cinco de Mayo was commemorating a battle against the French, and bourbon, right? The French royal family, bourbon. So there's a whole, what you call it, convergence, cosmic convergence with that. Well, look at the beer, you all. Golden, and it has a not very thick head. What about you two? Since you've never had it.
My head first was there like yours and did a fast fade. Now, could that mean I have an older beer or just the way it poured out?
What's your date?
It's upstairs. It's up. I poured it upstairs before I came down, but I'll check the date.
On the side of the bottle, there is a notch for the month that it's fresh by. Mine is August.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is well within.
When did this beer come out? Do you know?
I think it was either late 20. It was 2016, I believe.
I believe the first reviews on Beer Advocate were in December.
Okay.
They got a little early. It's really scheduled, I think, for February to May distribution, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But they do some early releases sometimes.
So it's relatively new.
Yes. Tiki says, "I'm drinking Miller High Life tonight. I'm off tomorrow, fellas. Thought it would be cool to hang out. Rose Pine is next to DeRidder." Oh, so in West Louisiana. I'm sorry. That's right. Right on, kind of close to Highway 190.
So is that near Shreveport?
U.S. Highway 171. No, Shreveport is in the northwest corner.
So it's in the southwest corner.
And yeah, they're more in the southwestern corner quadrant, which is an old highway that goes from Slidell, Louisiana, out to the desert in Texas. I know because I've driven on it. It's a very interesting highway because when you first get on it in West Texas, it's mountains and canyon, like it's in a canyon, like, and then it's mountainous, and then it gets more and more green, forest land, and then it's an interesting transition way when you drive on that road, west to east. Gabriel Barron says, hello from Houston, Texas. Really enjoy the reviews. Keep up the good work. Hello back to you in the Bayou City. We will try. Carp Diem says Lafayette here, actually Karen Crow. Oh yeah, that's north of Lafayette. All right, we're getting a little geography lesson. So, well,
I smell something in this that's, I don't know if it's the blossoms though, or what it is. Did you take the nose on it yet?
I'm doing it right now. Now, Michael, you're up there in New York City and here in Louisiana, and William is over there in North Carolina. So, yeah, what do you think, William's got that spices in those blossoms, right?
Mine's definitely spicy.
And mine poured a very thick soapy head. I mean, it's a nice looking.
And yours is staying too.
It is. It's capping the beer quite well.
I just have mine's just at the very top only right now. Maybe it's old, but I can smell the spiciness in the beer.
Yeah, I think it's impossible for yours to be old because it's such a new product that even if you got the oldest, it wouldn't be old,
So it might be the way I poured it. Maybe I didn't give it enough of a side pour where you get the head better. I mean,
it is certified kosher, if that means anything to anyone. Just thought I'd mention that.
Can you get the full line of Sam Adams stuff, Jay, in New Orleans? You get all the Sam Adams products, all their beers, because they have 60.
Well, I would say we get a very big allotment of it.
We do too.
I have a bunch in my fridge that I just bought that were just released in the past few days.
Okay, because we get it pretty often. You can get pretty much everything that's obvious. They're bigger stuff we always can get.
I'm picking up a soapy smell in this, oddly. Soapy.
I don't get that at all.
Mine seems to be basically spice. I can't say it's specifically orange blossoms, but it's some kind of spice.
Spice, blossoms, orange. I've driven through Florida so many times, but I've never really stopped on the side of the highway and smelled an orange tree. You know what I mean? So it's it's sort of like
it's the blossom, not the fruit, so it would smell differently anyway.
Yeah, the flower and
the flower of the orange plant.
And the underlying aroma is malt.
I think I took a few more sniffs of it, and I think what I'm referring when I say soapy is sort of like a floral potpourri fragrance, like you would smell in a home. I think that's what I'm picking up.
Okay, floral.
All right. Huh. Well, I'm curious. I've had it twice before, so this is my third go with it. I'm curious to see what y'all think about the taste. So
let's hit it.
I sent Bill another invite because Facebook where he could contact me, say I didn't get the invite. So, but he might, like I say, he might be doing something. Anyway, yeah. What do you think about the taste?
The initial taste is like kind of the spices, but then it does a fast fade to me. What did you think? Do you understand what I mean by a fast fade? It just, you taste it and then it's gone. It didn't linger to me. What do you think, William?
On this, there's really no hop finish. To me, the finish is a malty. The hop presence is very minimal. And the taste profile, it seems like the center of it is a pretty strong malt character. These Hella styles are supposed to have a little bit more of a malt presence than like a dry Pilsner style.
It's
and definitely, I can pick that up here.
It's malt forward, but there is some spice in it too.
Yeah, there is. And also a little component like the malting, maybe a little dash like honey or a little graham crackery bread like in it. Sort of forms the foundation for it. And then the spices sort of overlap that. So it's quite refreshing.
Does the taste fade though? Because mine, I got it and then it kind of levels out to me. It doesn't.
It does drop off pretty quickly. Like I said, there's really no hot, finish to it. It's more like the malt just sort of drops off at the end, fades out.
Jay, what do you think?
Okay, real quick. Brandon Burrell says, I had to stay in a hotel tonight. My webcam is at home. The roads were flooded, so I couldn't get home from work next time. I'm not going to write that to him. He's probably listening right now. Brandon, I understand that. I mean, the roads are flooded, right? I think I was telling Beer Talk, I said, I think y'all, I'll just write this message later. Okay. I'm listening to what y'all are saying, and you know what? And I did review this already. It's posted. It's definitely got this barley malt bread, the spiced white bread, and sort of a citrus thing. But it does, like Michael's saying, fall off kind of quickly. It's not like a taste that's a long taste. It's like you taste it and it's like, pow, gone. The body is medium and the finish is dry. I think if a person is looking for something that's super overt and bold and is going to set the night to music song set, you're going to be sorry. But if you're looking for something that's low profile, delicate in its, it might work for you. I think a person that's and I always want to state this is not applicable to me, because people will ask me from time to time, how did you get into craft beer? I never got into craft beer. I just started drinking it as just beer. I mean, I could understand, I had enough sense to see that there were specialty beers and then there was ordinary stuff. Like what you say, go up the ladder to where I could stand it. So, but apparently people out there are that way. So if somebody is to a craft beer, this might be a good introductory to get them into more flavorful stuff. But I don't see why it would be too much of a transition, because there's not a whole lot there to transition to. But it's fine. I mean, I'm not tasting anything bad or off about it. Anyway, I'll let you two guys talk. There's Eric, a Lions fan, joining us with his
Hi,
Mexican
Eric, how are
beer.
you?
Good. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Do you have this Sam Adams product?
No, I'm actually drinking a Negra Modelo.
Look at that color.
I know, it looks pretty nice.
It looks really nice.
Good. I like that beer. Now, I could have bought it on draft on Sunday, but I just didn't feel comfortable paying $6. I didn't feel comfortable paying $5.50 for one glass of Pacifico, but I figured I'd never had it on draft. I'll give it a go. Do that kind of stuff, because it's just not a good trade-off. William, what do you think? You think we're going overboard saying that this beer is muted?
I'm sort of nonplussed about it also. I would take their flagship beer any day over this.
Yeah.
The Boston Lager he's talking
I would. To me, this is just, like I say, sort of nonplussed would be, the way it's okay, but I'd have a hard time buying it again, really, I think. I think there's just too many other choices out there that I would grab before I would take this.
There's nothing exciting about it.
Not really. It's just, it's average, and, that can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. But to me, it's just, it's okay, but that's about all I can say positive about it, really.
Jay, where is John Sharon tonight? Can he get Sam Adams?
I'm sure he can get it. I don't know where he is. He used to join us all the time, but I guess he lost interest in it. I was gonna on the Beer Talk 2017, I was going to say, I guess y'all lost interest in these examinations, but I didn't have a chance to write it yet. And
I still watch his reviews, so he's still reviewing beer.
He does do it from time to time. You know, he's kind of busy though. He's got to go to these events for his child in school and middle school now, I guess. And you get busy, and then you know, and people would get tired of. Yeah, Eric said, I think he's been pretty busy. I do believe that. And people are not obligated to come every week and hang out and talk about a different beer brand, because I can do it in an endless loop. You know what I'm saying? People, they get tired. Like it's interesting for a little while, and they'll do it, and then they'll melt away. You know how it goes. What happens with beer reviewers? I'm talking about video beer reviewers. You know what I'm talking about, Michael. You've been watching it for a good while.
Yes, I have. I do.
Get on and do video reviews, and they've got all these graphics, and they've got a song, and they are just hot a cracker to do reviews. And then you watch their channel, and they're pretty hot and kind of hot, and then they don't post much. Or they'll come back and say, okay, I'm getting serious again. My channel's coming back strong. And then that's the last video you ever see. So
yeah, I think you were talking about how many people are on your channel being as a guideline.
What do you mean by that?
In other words, how popular your channel is, how many people are checking your channel out. I guess on YouTube. I guess that's what it is, or is that on Facebook? I saw something on the beer talk where people were discussing. I have X number of.
Right. I'll talk about that real fast. You know, Tasting Mitch did frequently asked beer questions, and she made it like a chain letter. Remember back in the 70s, they would have chain letters, tell them out and say, "Don't break the chain." Put $1. So I said, okay, I'll watch it. I'm not going to do it, you know, because I don't like chain letters. So then people were saying, people kept saying, when are you going to do frequently asked beer questions? So I said, oh, I made that video where I said, I'm not going to answer those questions. I don't do that. 40 minutes. And somebody said, I'll be damned if I'm going to watch your about how you're not going to answer the questions. I said, I don't think you watched it too carefully because you might have caught on to what I was doing. You remember I said, the first question she asked was, how did you get into beer? And I said, I'm not getting into that. No one cares. I said, now, if I was going to answer the question, I was going to answer it, I would say blah, 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 blah into that. And then I said, number two, and then I said, I'm not going to mention that, but if I would talk about it, I would say blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? It was like a backhanded way of answering it. It was like, obviously ridiculous. But one question, I have some questions, and then Rajay had some questions. He did a series of questions. I said, why do some video reviewers not show their subscription count? Because I found it was strange, you know. Most of them do. And so that's what we were talking about. The video reviewers on Beer Talk said, oh yeah, I'm going to fix that. And I think she did. So I said, because actually viewers like to see the subscription count. It's like, it makes it interesting to them so they can see how it's growing, you know?
Right.
They'd be more interested in it than you, the actual channel, but they like to see how it's growing compared to other people. And it's like interesting to them. And when you don't show the number, it like irritates them. And I think it actually could retard the growth of your channel. It could hurt your channel because then they're thinking, why do you don't want to show it? You know, what's this person's problem? You know, question was about. So let's sum this. Well, we can say certainly that it's not as exciting as Hellas.
I'm with William that I would not go out of my way to buy it again.
I wouldn't buy it again. Compelling enough to not try it. I think it's worth trying.
It was okay.
But you're not going to be too thrilled. I don't think it's all right. Watch my original video review I don't think they were too.
So if you had to rate this, would this be a C+ to you or a B-? Where would you put it?
What are ratings on these examinations? We just examined the beer, so I'm not going to rate it. Now, if I was rating it, I'm not going to
Okay.
tonight.
You don't have,
if I was rating it.
You don't have to rate it.
But if I was,
I refuse to rate it.
I'll give you my rating. I would give it a 7 on my 1 to 10 scale, which is probably
That's a C-.
A C-. But that's me. And
I absolutely refuse to rate it tonight. But
you don't have to rate it.
For the sake of argument, hypothetically, if I was rating it, I probably would give it a B.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Would you have to have a couple of beers before you would rate it, like 2 or 3 before you actually gave your final assessment?
My third one. I've had it 3 times now in the last few months.
Eric, this is my first one, and I'm sure it's only a 7. in my estimation.
I think it's good. I got into a little discussion with Rajay about that, and I'll bring that up in a second. Now, William, I'm just examining. I think it's all right. I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't go. If somebody asked me, should I try it? I'd say you could try it, but I wouldn't expect a whole lot.
Well, kind of really the only reason I brought it up was John Sharon actually kind of said that in one of his videos. He said he has it a couple of times before he'll actually do a beer review on it to actually really get.
Yeah, right.
But I guess that's pretty much everyone's, that's how they do their channel.
Yeah, and I think we talked about that. John Sharon and I talked about that. We said how want to drink the beer 5 times at least and then get a handle on it, but it's not practical. Your channel get to hardly anything. There's only so many hours in a day. Now if you had 6 hours a day to do all this, you could so since you drink it once and you give it a score. And a better form would be drink it multiple times and really get a handle on it. With record albums, they'll listen to it once and give an evaluation. You really need to listen to it a bunch of times to get used to the music. And as far as album reviews that I've done, which is a good number of them, I've listened to those multiple times.
You ever thought about doing that again, Ron?
I had a little problem with Fleetwood Mac. They're super aggressive and they always mute my music. I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to give them free publicity, but
don't break their chain.
I don't want to yank their chain nor break their chain. I had no problem whatsoever with other. I don't know. It's easy. I think it's easier just to taste beer and tell if it's good or not, or great or excellent. I think it's difficult. So William, it's all right, but not so terrific.
When I say literally average, I'm going to say it's a 5.
5? You mean a 50%?
I mean, I'm taking literally, it's average. That means,
Okay.
It's right in the middle by using that scale. So that's,
I used to be a teacher, so
it could be subject to change with repeated drinkings, but right now, that's honestly what I would say.
Well, there are different rating scales because if you look
Absolutely.
if you look at Rate Beer, if you look at how they view a lot of those Euro lagers, they give single digits to them, 7, 9, 10, and it's ridiculous because at least Beer Advocate 69 is poor, so they don't go lower than maybe 65 or maybe 60. Maybe you find very poor. I don't know if they have anything that's very poor, but they only go from like 60 to 100, where rate beer goes from 1 to 100. And I've seen like 4s and 5s. And if it's being bottled, it can't be that bad. I'm just serious. I mean, if you're actually putting it in a bottle to sell it, it has to be, even if it's the most awful thing we can imagine, it has to get a plus rating. I also don't like their highs either. I don't like the ones they give 100 to. I don't think it's reached that either. So I like Beer Advocate better if I had to choose between the two.
It's all about the way that the scores approach. Like Beer Advocate, they do a weighted scale. It places more emphasis on the taste rather than the aroma or smell, and as such. When I say 5, I'm saying strictly that's what the taste of it was to me, as a tasting experience. Nothing more, nothing less. So, you got to take all of it with a grain of salt, what the scoring system is.
I guess. And I've been thinking about it. I think 7 would be a straight C. It wouldn't be a C-. A C- would be in the 6s for me. So 7 would be a C.
Rajay did a video yesterday, I think, and he said, I made a comment. I said, the beer was good, but I thought it was kind of ho-hum. And he said, I don't understand how a beer could be good but be ho-hum. And I want to explain that now if you're still watching. I think he's watching right now. That it was good, but it wasn't particularly exciting. It was just kind of like ho-hum. You know what I mean? It was just average. I mean, it was a well-made beer. You know what I'm saying? It was a well-made beer. It didn't have any off flavors or aromas. It just wasn't too exciting. It tended to fall in that B range. Good, but just sort of bland in some ways. It might have been designed that way. Now, when I do a rating, I don't just make a guess, okay? I know a lot of people like pulling it out of your butt. You're just throwing it up and making it up. I don't do that. Maybe some people do, okay? Do not do that. When I make up, and I teach religion class at night, but I used to teach, for a job, high school and college. The high schools use a little different scoring. The colleges are pretty standard, universities and college. So, like, let me tell you the score I use real fast. Horrible was 60. That means it's a failure. You cannot drink it.
A drain pour.
Yeah, because the beer is 41% horrible. Now, who in the hell, excuse my language, who wants to drink a beer that's 41% awful? Not me.
I agree.
And I'm not doing it. 60 to 69, it's bad. It is a bad beer. It's like name tag lager, and that's barely drinkable, thank you. Sunday just for a lark, and I was like, I don't need those kind of larks. It's unpleasant. You can drink it, but you don't ever want it. Now, if it's between 70 and 79, it's a C. It's average. Like on a, like you're in a freshman English 101 paper, and the professor didn't hate it, didn't like it. It had a lot of flaws. It was okay. Like William said, average, a C. You scored a C on your paper. You'll never be a good job in the world of literature, but you can write a paper and it doesn't make me want to jump out a window. 80 to 89 would be a B, B minus, B or B plus, up the scale between 80 and 89. An 80 would be tolerably good. It's good, but ho-hum. 85 would be just straight good. 89 would be very good, very good. And then we go to 90. 90 to 92 would be excellent. 93 to what? Would be most excellent, like a really solid. It's so good. And then you get to 98 to 100. That's outstanding. And I mean, it's unbelievable. It's so awesome. And then what's world class?
100.
100. That is, it's beyond even conceive how good it is.
Mine's between 98 and 100.
I've always used, and so I think about it when I do those videos. I'm thinking, you know what I mean? I'm thinking. It's like that movie Mulholland Drive. Tells the guy, "You're not thinking, smart aleck." He says, "But he's thinking, but he knew he wasn't thinking, and you're just being a smart aleck." But I do think. I think the beer as much as drink it. I'm just giving you my point of view, you know. And so, last beers have I had? I don't know if I've had 10 in my whole life. A's and A minuses and A pluses, though. Okay, I'm going to shut up. Y'all have the floor for a few more minutes while we're on. And there's a lot of people doing chat. There's like a chat attack going on.
Can we discuss other beer issues?
A few minutes, but so our general consensus on Fresh as Hellas is that
I'm passing.
2. You could watch it, but it ain't no Rocky.
Are we ready for some beer news?
Wicked beer.
InBev bought Wicked Weed of Asheville, North Carolina. I don't know if you
saw that.
Do you get Wicked Weed, William, in your area?
Oh yes, Western North Carolina is a hotbed for.
Okay.
You got Oscar Blues, New Belgium, Sierra Nevada.
Okay, I guess I guess InBev wanted an inroad in a brewery, so they bought Wicked Weed.
That is really
and it's a big purchase because they're a company that's coming on. They're getting stronger. They're going to be in New York. It was before they bought it. New York and a couple of other areas are in their, on their map now where they're going to be getting distribution to. So I'll have availability. I've tried some of their stuff, and hopefully I'll get to try more of it.
We set off a firestorm on the chat with the ratings.
People like putting gasoline on a fire.
I put some lighter fluid on the fire, but it's a good discussion, and it would be like Rajay said, that would be a good topic, and I agree.
Okay, another thing I would like to get in quickly is yesterday I did a beer tasting with Giant Space Monkey, who you're the only one who's met of this group here, but we had a beer which would be in the outstanding category. Have any of you people ever had anything from Schlafly of St. Louis?
I have.
How about you, William? Schlafly. There's an L. You're right. Schlafly. There's an L in there too.
There was a Phyllis Schlafly who was a pro-life advocate.
Okay, well, this is a brewery.
She died.
I just had to throw that out there.
This is a brewery in St. Louis.
Okay, St. Louis. I'm not familiar with that. No.
Okay. Anyway, my daughter's boyfriend was in Maryland, and he brought this beer back for me, and it's a bourbon barrel coffee stout called Schlafly Ibex Series Coffee Stout. And I didn't even realize it was barrel aged until we opened it and I smelled it. And you could smell the barrel aged quality, and we drank it. And Doug thought it was the, Goose Island Bourbon Barrel Coffee Stout, which neither of us had, but that's what he thought it was. And he gave it a 9.75 and I gave it a 9.5. So that would be in your outstanding category.
Right. Outstanding is just, I mean, you would drink it every day. Oh, there's Bill.
There's Bill from Tampa.
Boom.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, how about this? So I'm watching the hangout as I'm going into, I drop a car off because it's in the shop. Then as I'm going into a liquor store, I'm watching the hangout. I'm watching you guys. I see the beer. I pick it up. I get home, and here we are.
Is it cold?
Bam!
So and it's cold. Pop it up fast. Open it.
Yeah,
cold.
Hurry up, Bill. Hurry.
2-minute warning.
Crap! I forgot a bottle opener.
Uh-oh. You got to have one close by.
Give it time out.
Now Jay, talk about beer spontaneity. This is it.
Bill's coming in as a pinch hitter. because we kind of had a tie game here, and
well, it'd be interesting to see what Bill thinks of it.
he does have a 167 average. He does hit with power from time to
167.
time.
That's below the Mendoza line.
That's why he's pinch hitting.
Okay.
He has been playing in the National League for longer than the Braves
So
have been in
Bill is checking out the nose. What does he think?
Nondescript, actually.
Okay.
Beer, obviously beer smell, right? But nondescript, consistent, uniform, sort of tall head, but this is a very skinny glass, so that's probably why I'm getting that.
Nice glass, by the way.
Thank you. Let's go with the flavor.
All right.
Damn, Bill, you should have a YouTube channel.
Eric, you're preaching to the choir. I have been begging you.
I picked the jewels from the good ones, Eric. I've learned from you too.
So, Bill, what's your reaction?
It's good. It's different. I can pick up sort of the little notes of orange, but I don't pick up any like of the sweetness of the honey per se. Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys. It's good. You might want to give it a try, but I don't think it's going to blow anybody away.
Is that supposed to be an IPA style or not? I mean, I've seen it, but I've never bought it.
It's a Hellas lager.
It's a lager, yeah. It's a lager, but it's got kind of a. I wouldn't even go as far as saying it's got kind of like a fingerprint of an IPA, because that's not right. It's kind of that orange, that citrus, that mild citrus kind of maybe throws it that way. But it really, no, it's a lager all the way.
William and I thought that the maltiness took over a little bit too much too, because you may have wanted more of the orange blossom effect, which I really didn't get that much.
Yeah,
I guess I liked it more than anybody, but
yeah. When it comes to maltiness, I guess when you throw that into the equation, for me, I automatically think of the Genesee products, which are very kind of creamy and malty. I wouldn't put this in that category, but yeah, I can pick up a little bit of it. It's funny, around here in Tampa, 2 weeks ago, this was everywhere. But Sam Adams has been coming through and re-merchandising everything. And they're pulling this. You can't find this now here. They're pulling it, and they've got a whole nother set of seasonal products that they're putting out.
Jay says he has some he just got.
About to show y'all some of these. What do you say, Bill? You like it? Would you buy it again? I mean, don't feel any pressure. Call it like you see it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't buy this again. Yeah, it does nothing for me. Yeah, good, decent product, I guess, but in a sea of decent products, it does nothing to distinguish itself.
Come on here to bash Samuel Adams beers. Here's some of the other ones that I have coming up. It could be a week or two though. Now, my fridge was empty, and now it's not empty. But I have Samuel Adams Hefeweizen.
Okay.
I've never had that.
I already drank the lagers. I knocked those out quick. I love that stuff. Here's the Samuel Adams Tropic of Yuzu.
Never had that one.
Came out.
Ronald, is all this coming out of that variety pack they just put out?
Tropic.
I was going to ask that, Bill.
Springtime. It's the Berliner Weisse. I have the Berliner Weisse, and they all have these like fluorescent. I would like to review all of these under a black light.
Yeah.
Roller disco. Doing roller disco. But so I'm gonna try those. I hope they're good. I didn't pay but 14 something for the 12 pack at Walmart. So I guess they'll be all right. And then I bought some other exciting beers, the Guinness Ale, and I bought that other new Guinness Ale, and then I bought some new beer, and I bought oh man, I was just buying all kinds of stuff. I was like in a frenzy, like that 1972 Alfred Hitchcock movie Frenzy. And then all kind of liquor. I just kind of went berserk. But it was a good type of berserk. You know what I mean? It was controlled madness. All right. In my budget, I'll say that I did not overspend, and I bought it with cash, and I did not use a credit card. Money left over, and I had such great prices. I couldn't pass up these prices. Everything was like so cheap. The beer was relatively cheap, so I said, why not? All right, next week. I have even more shocking news. Next week is whiskey. It's an examination of Old Crow. Now, William and I did that, and then I have that 1977 bottle, which is totally irrelevant because nobody can get it anyway. There's no use even talking about that bottle unless you buy it from one of these whiskey collectibles sites that have unopened bottles from 40 years ago. It's going to cost you a fortune. But we're going to do the modern Old Crow next Wednesday. And William, you said you could get that, right?
I've got about a half bottle left of mine, a 1 liter bottle.
Oh, right. You bought the 1 liter. And then Bill?
I just picked it up tonight when I picked up this. Good to go.
Bill's got the Old Crow. Michael might do it. Look it up. We're going to go back into that Jim Beam world. I'm going to tell Michael Jennings about it.
I'm leaving Friday open, Jay.
Let's say that's provisional. I'm going to let him know tonight. So we'll find that out very soon.
Just get back to me on Facebook when you find out.
So, Eric doesn't mess with, he only messes with beer, right? Eric, a Lions fan?
Yeah, I don't mess with liquor at all.
Policy. Beer is his scene.
Mm-hmm.
And wine, I'll dabble in wine every once in a great while, but I haven't done one in quite a while.
Well, now that you mention wine, why not bring it up? 2 weeks from now, we have something from Michael's kind of Country Cellars Red. There's only 2 Taylor Country Cellars wines. You can either get the red, white. That's how many are in that portfolio, that subcategory. Here's the third thing. It only comes in a 3 liter bottle.
That's a commitment. Ooh.
Okay.
But here's the best part of it. It cost me $10.99.
That's a cheap commitment.
You know how much that is? You know how much that is? Size wine bottle. That is $2.75 for a regular size bottle of wine. Right now, Constellation Brands does not put out junk. Well, okay, they do put out Richard's Wild Irish Rose, but let's not bring that up.
Jay, is that the same Constellation Brands that owns Ballast Point?
Sure is.
It sure is, and they own a whole lot of other stuff. When I say a lot, think of extraordinary amount of brands.
Which they purchased for $1 billion. with a B.
billion.
With a B.
They swooped in when AB InBev had to sell off brands, and they said, we'll take them. Corona and all those Mexican beers, they were in the right place at the right time.
Roll their eyes at Taylor. But the company was founded in 1880. I didn't say 1980. I said 1880. They have a facility up there in upstate New York. I called them. Actually, I called them on the phone, and they said they don't give tours. It's a production-only facility. But I'll say this about that Constellation Brands website. They give extensive information about every brand they own. And I don't mean just, here's the ingredients. Is that makes the stuff, like the director. They'll give you all the tasting notes, like intricate tasting notes. And I don't care how cheap the product is. Like Richard's Wild Irish Rose. I mean, come on. But they give this long write-up. They'll like frame it as though it's a legitimate product. So it's fascinating to read their website, and their information about this Taylor Country Cellars Red it makes you want to drink it. You know what I mean? Like William said, when you get on a good website like that and it's so extensive, and they give food pairings, like they'll give a meal you can make with it. It makes you want to drink it because it's telling you that they care about the product.
That's true.
About Samuel Adams. Food pairings and recipe ideas too. What'd you say, William?
The first impression on those is pretty important. When there's so many products to choose from in the marketplace, and if they care about it, it makes you sort of care about it too. Conversely, if they don't care about it, sometimes you say, "What the heck?" If they don't believe in their product, I'm going somewhere else.
Sure. So. Right.
Jay, I have a question for Eric.
Okay.
Last Sunday, I went to a sour beer tap takeover by Jolly Pumpkin. They're out of Dexter, Michigan, which is a suburb of Detroit. So
Dexter is over by. Have you heard of Jackson, Michigan?
So it's near Jackson. Okay, but how far from Detroit is it?
Oh goodness. I'm guessing probably it's
an hour away.
About an hour and a half, I'm guessing.
Okay, so anyway, they had 2 reps there, and they had 12 lines of their beers, 8 of their own beers, and then 4 collaborations with other breweries. And it was expensive, but it was really good. Because sours are always expensive, but we expected to pay. And we went with a group of 6 people, and what we did is we buy one and then split it so we could try. And we tried 10 of the 12 that they had, and the reps were really good. They gave good descriptions. The sad thing is, the only thing they sell is in these, 22-ounce bomber bottles, and they're, the pricing of bomber bottles is crazy.
Yeah, some of them can get outstanding.
And they have good products. I'm not putting it down. It's just I'm not spending $35 for a bomber bottle. That's just me.
No. That's beyond the pale. I'm sorry.
There are people who do it.
I'm going to do this one here on Saturday. Well, I'm going to pre-record. But if you guys had anything from New Holland,
that's wonderful. That beer you're holding is wonderful.
I can't.
This is their Mexican spice cake bourbon barrel stout. This is their reserve series.
It's wonderful. You're going to love that. I've had that. You're going to love it. And even their basic one is very good. The basic.
All right, now hold on.
All right, we're hijacking Ron's. We're hijacking your hangout, Ron. Sorry.
No, you're not. Hey. No, okay, folks, listen. Morning at 6 a.m. unless something happens to me, but I got the thing set up. Some people know the event is set up. I'm doing a taste challenge. I've been doing a lot of these taste challenges on my day off. To do because it helps school you. It's like little training sessions. Learn to taste things unless you what? Right? So you got to practice. And I'm going to do a showdown tomorrow, and it's going to be a really strange one. Hennessy Privilege VSOP, Hartley VSOP versus Italy, countries that have fought each other before in war.
So these are these are brandies.
These are brandies. Cognac brandy versus Italian brandy. And they're both VSOP rated, which people that drink brandy know what VSOP is about. Now, coming up tomorrow morning as the sun rises. Friday night, we may be looking at the Jim Beam original, and that is provisional on Michael Jennings, who actually conceptualized the Hangout. So I've got to get to him soon. Now, anybody can join, but I got to get with him soon since he's the sort of like the originator of the idea. Like we call it a test Hangout to see if he wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We had people in the past that did test Hangouts, like Marilyn Jake. But I guess they didn't like it too much because they didn't come back after a couple of times. It's just, you know, hey, you know, it's like you don't know until you do it, right? And you might decide, nah, this isn't really for me. So then you don't do it. There's no pressure to do it. It's not like some obligation. But anyway, on the Fresh as Hellas. And I'm going to keep the thing running after I shut it off broadcast. If y'all want to keep talking, I got to go get some clothes out of a dryer and put some other clothes in a dryer. And washcloths, as though the audience cares about that.
Maybe you need to do a review on that.
Yeah, I did a review of a Dodge Avenger once, a 2012 Dodge Avenger video. Did it after a year because I said, you know, it's been a year. It's not new now. Forget it. But I've had it 5 years. But anyway, any thoughts? Any last thoughts on the Fresh as Hellas? What is that? It's good. It's certainly not anything bad. I wouldn't want anybody I would ever dream of saying it's bad. It's certainly not bad.
I will say that this beer does not come on like a hurricane. You're only young, but you're gonna die.
So you're saying it's sort of like Judas Priest's Rock-a-Rolla album.
Rocker, yeah. Not one of their best.
It's average.
And literally average.
Michael froze up. Okay, so if you love Rock-a-Rolla, Kill, you might love Fresh as Hellas. More than likely, you're not going to love it. You're not going to hate it. But then you could say that for Busch beer. Start comparing prices, then Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah.
Busch Signature Copper Lager.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you right now, Busch Signature Copper Lager beats the fool out of this.
No doubt.
On price, on overall quality. Busch Signature Lager. I would drink Busch Signature Copper Lager 8 days a week over this.
No doubt. I think Sam Adams could probably cut this right out of their portfolio and they wouldn't get a single phone call.
No. Wouldn't be missed.
I would take the Jenny Cream Ale over this any day.
The Genesee Cream Ale, William?
I would drink this over this all day long.
I haven't had it, but the Genesee Cream Ale is
at half the price of this. I got a 24-pack bottles for $13.
You'll never beat that. You'll never beat it. Oh, I love that Jenny Cream. Well, we might have to do that examination one day down the road. There's a lot of stuff like John Sharon. He said we ought to do revisits. There's enough time passes. You could do like little revisit examinations.
And for spring beer, I'll take the Jenny Bach over this too.
To try it
hands
one day.
down.
That's something that we don't get in New York City. We get the cream ale. We don't get the
I
back.
found some in, I got some in Kentucky a few weeks ago. And I think it's the best of the gin. I think it's better than the cream ale. And I thought it was exceptional for the price point. I really like it.
If they had it here, I would try it because I like some of the Genesee products. I would try it.
I tried in a hot minute. All right, folks. Thanks for watching this hour long in 1 minute. Also ancillary discussions. And come on back next week if you're interested in looking at famous and important, I might add, Ash. And we want to focus on that. We want to focus on that word, sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, and I mean famous.
People are gonna want to tune into that next week just to see who winds up slurring and slobbering at the end of an hour examination of bourbon.
Talking about 5.4% alcohol.
At the 30-minute mark, you could have a tongue twister.
That's right.
To continue, like seashells by the seashore. And you could have people drop out